3 years ago, I was making $44,000 a year as an entry-level client service rep at a financial advising company. Today, I make $140,000 a year as a senior analyst. Throughout this journey the past couple years, I didn't take any shortcuts. There was no crazy luck. I believe that there is a very clear path that anybody could follow to also get to this point. In this video, I am going to break down exactly what I did so that you can speed up your own journey to a six-figure salary. What is your dream salary by age 30? Drop it down below in the comments because I would love to hear. Jumping into the video here, I want to give you guys the starting point of when I was making $44,000 a year. This was February of 2022, and I was a client service rep at a financial advising firm. Basically, what that means is that somebody would call to talk to their financial advisor, and I would try to be that first point of contact. That way, it is not like they had to talk to the advisor the entire time. Let us say they would call and they would be like, hey, I want to change my address on my Fidelity account. I want to change it from this location here to this location, and I want to talk to the advisor. I could basically just do it for them. Honestly, it was a lot of clerical work. It was not hard at all, and it was very, very easy. I had a bachelor's degree in finance. So it really just felt like I was not using my degree fully. It was more administrative work more than anything. When I was making $44,000 a year, it is really not that much money. I am not saying it is horrible money, but it is definitely not good in most states. With $44,000 a year, you are probably going to want to have roommates or live in a pretty small space. A lot of times you are living paycheck to paycheck. Even if you are very frugal, making $44,000 a year, you can only save so much money. It is really hard to build a substantial amount of wealth at that income level. That was one of the first problems I realized with it. I think a lot of people in their early 20s can be in that same boat, whether they are making $44.50 or $55K a year. You can work pretty hard and you can be really good at your job, but the money just isn't really going to stretch it out much in regards to your monthly budget. That is even if you are extremely frugal. Don't get me wrong, if you live at home with parents and you have no expenses. Then of course a salary like that is going to go a lot further. For most people, whether you are living out on your own or you have roommates or you are trying to get by and pay all your bills, it is not really going to go that far in most states. That is a little bit about the background and the starting point here. Basically what happened was in March of 2022, I decided to move basically across the country to an entirely different state that I had only visited a few times. I had some friends from college that lived there in the city and they really liked it. In my mindset, it was like, okay, well, I can move out to the city. Maybe I could get a new job, and with that new job, hopefully I can make more money. The state I was moving to was going to be a lot lower cost of living. I was like, okay, this could be a win-win here. I really just did not want to settle for this salary of $44,000 a year. I knew that even if I worked really hard at this job, my salary was not going to go up much. I was not going to go from 44 to 60, 85, 90, or 100. This was not a job that was like that. It was basically like you are either a client service rep or you become a financial advisor. Even the advisors were not making crazy money either, unless they had been doing it for decades. In my mind, it was like, I don't really want to go this route. I want to make a lot more money a lot sooner. I did not want to settle with this salary. The reason it is important to look at the bigger picture here is when you are in your early 20s. That is some of the best times to be investing. A lot of times you are a single person, you are not married, and you don't have kids. It is a really good time to just try to live within your means and build a really good foundation for when you do want to get married and have a family. Of course, this is going to be a different timing for everybody. Some people want to do that when they are 25, and some people maybe not until they are 30. For people ages 20 to 25, this is a great time to set up a solid financial foundation for yourself. That way it can last you for decades. The way I have kind of lived my 20s is I don't view it as a time to be kind of coasting by. I feel like it is a good time to lay a really solid foundation for my life. Going back to the job thing here, like I said, February 2022, I am making $44K a year. I end up getting a job as a financial analyst making $55K a year in a state that has no state income taxes. That was great because I went from a high tax state to a no income tax state, so that was already a win. On top of that, I am making an extra $11,000 a year, which is really cool. Basically, during that time, I moved to this different state. I am working fully remote, which actually was not bad at all. This was a really good time for me to develop my presentation skills because I was a financial analyst. I was presenting a lot of pretty large data to people that were kind of higher up in their company. That was good, as well as getting a lot better at Microsoft Excel, which was one of the main programs I use for even my job today. It is really important to be able to get really good at Excel as well as being able to present data to people that some people may be very intimidated by. After a while, you just get kind of used to it, so it is not as intimidating. You also know what to expect from certain people if you have presented to them more than once. The way I got really good at these things was honestly just practice. It was working very hard at my job, and I knew that every time I was learning a new skill, whether it was in a program or whether it was Tableau or Power BI or all these different softwares I was using, I knew that this would be adding to my resume and stacking it up. I knew that although this job was good right now, I didn't want to do this long term. I didn't want to do this for 3 to 5 years because I didn't really like presenting to clients and being outward facing. I would rather present to somebody who is a CFO of my own company than to have to present to a bunch of different people outside of my company. That is just how I am personally, but like I said before, every new skill that I learned I knew would be something that I could speak to on my resume, which would come in handy a year later. Basically, after a year and a couple of months, I kind of realized with this job that no matter how hard I worked, they were not going to promote me. No matter what they did, they would tell me, hey, I want you to learn this, and at that time, once you learn this stuff, then you can get promoted. I would go learn those skills, I would come back, and I would talk to my manager and say, hey, I know how to do all these things now. What next? He would say, okay, but also you have to learn this, this, and this. He kept moving the line instead of just giving me a big list saying, hey, if you learn all these things, you will get promoted. He would just move the line further and further and further away. Over time, I just realized I am not going to move up much salary-wise here. I am going to start looking for a new job, and I am going to see if I can just become a senior analyst right off the bat. Normally, for senior analyst jobs, you typically want to have 3 to 5 years of experience. I only had a little over 1 year of experience, but in my mind, it was like, hey, I don't really have much downside here. It is at least worth applying to these other jobs. I ended up interviewing for a couple of months and had tons of rejections. Eventually, I had a company that gave me a pretty good offer of $85K a year. At this point, I am now making $85,000 a year as a senior analyst, which was just awesome. My boss was only a couple years older than me, and he gave me a lot of really good exposure to people high up in the company, whether it was the VP or the senior vice president or even the CFO. This job was more internal, which is what I was looking for. I didn't want to keep presenting things to people externally, so it was really nice in that regard. One of my favorite things about this $85K a year job was that the people I was working with were all around my age. It was just a really good environment to be in. A lot of the people were very nice and super relatable. Everybody was kind of willing to help out, even if you were given something that was super intimidating. Over time, you would pick up confidence because the team would let you grow in a way. Everybody was supporting one another, but then you would still have to own certain stuff and figure it out on your own. It was a nice combination of being able to take a risk, but knowing that if you messed up, it is not the end of the world. It really put you in an environment to help grow and build even more skills. Now, at this point, my skills in Excel had gotten very advanced, as well as just like long-term financial modeling. When it comes to finance, I got very advanced over the past 2 or 3 years. Whether it is building out a huge model in Excel or being able to present financial data or having to do something in a very quick time period that is kind of complex to most people, that made me extremely reliable. It also gave me, again, more skills and more just things and examples for me to speak on to my resume, which is huge. It is about building your resume up and working really hard so that you have things to speak to. I will even make a whole separate video talking about how to interview well, because I think this was one of my biggest skills that helped me get to where I am today. Then I was working at this $85,000 a year job for a while. I worked there from about June of 2023 until January of 2025. Basically, what happened was September of 2024, a different company announced that they were going to be acquiring the company I was going to work for. If you've ever heard of a company getting acquired, all you have to know is that if your company is getting acquired, the odds of you getting laid off have gone up substantially. For me, I was like, I don't want to get laid off. I want to have consistent income coming in. Therefore, I am going to try to leave this job and see even if I can just get a senior analyst role elsewhere. Maybe I could still see my pay go up from 85 to 100, 110, or 115. Somewhere around there would have been great. It took me months of interviewing, and it was actually really painful. I started interviewing in September, and I didn't have my last interview until the end of December. This took about 4 months straight of interviews. The awesome thing here was at this most recent job that I am currently working in, I went from $85K a year at my last job to $120,000 a year base, plus a $20K bonus at this next job. That was a huge jump. Most senior analyst positions pay between 100 to 120 in total comp, but now I am making 140 in total comp. I am not saying this to brag or try to flex, but one of the main things that you are going to notice here is that I am just joining companies. I am working extremely hard, and I am trying to add a lot of skills and a lot of things to my resume. After a while, if I feel like there is no value or there is not much position for me to move up and try to grow, I just jump to a different company. There is really not much downside. The reason I say that is because option A is that you just keep working at your same company, and you don't really move up much. Option B is that you interview with a new company and either they reject you and you go back to working for your same company, which is what you were going to be doing anyways. Or they give you a really good offer. Hopefully you get a better work environment, you make more money, and you have good work-life balance. There is a lot of upside to interviewing at new companies because the new companies don't know your prior salary. You can also leverage that a lot when it comes to salary negotiations at your current company. If you are making, let us say, $55K a year and they go to promote you, they may change it from $55K to maybe $65 or $70K. If you go from $55K at a previous company to a new company, then you can make more of like a $30, $40, or $50,000 jump in total pay, which is huge. Some of the main takeaways that I want you guys to have from this is to not settle for your first salary and know that long term, just try to build your skills up and try to see where you can jump ship if you need to. You don't want to sit there and get 3% raises year after year. If there is any way that you can move up in salary, even if it is leaving your company, go ahead and do it because long term it is probably going to play out well. Always make sure when you are interviewing at new companies to ask a lot of questions. That way you don't get thrown into something that you are going to be miserable in for a year, 2 or 3 years. Again, you can just do this every year to a year and a half, kind of like the way I have been doing. I am very aware that long term, or at least medium term, I am going to stay at this company for the next couple of years. If I get to the 3-year mark and there is really not much growth that I have seen, like if I haven't gotten promoted or if I just feel like I am not really learning that much anymore, then I will look to jump again. That is just kind of my logic, and again, there is not much downside there. I know that changing jobs can be very intimidating, but in my opinion, changing jobs is one of the best ways to increase your total comp. If you live below your means and you increase your salary over time, like I said, that 44K is not going to get you very far, but 140K is going to get you a lot further. Even if you go from 55 to 100K, that extra $45,000 a year is going to add up big time, especially if you can keep your expenses flat. That is just going to give you a lot more money to invest every single month. If you follow these steps in your 20s, you can absolutely get to 6 figures way faster than you think. Do not let the older generations tell you that you need to work at the same company for 10 plus years. Don't follow that because at the end of the day, the quickest way to move up in salary is to change companies. There are a lot of studies showing that right now. Also, if you are at a good company that does help you grow and move up pretty quickly, I would not necessarily jump ship from that either. Just be very aware of where the potential growth is for you and try to do a lot of research if you can, because that is definitely going to help long-term work hard, stack up your skills, and you will be set for the long haul. That is it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like down below and hit that subscribe button. I will see you in the next one. Peace. Honestly, the journey of money is more about your heart and your habits than just the math. It is about finding that sweet spot where you are challenged but not overwhelmed. You deserve to wake up without that heavy feeling in your chest, wondering if you can afford your life. We are just out here trying to build a life that feels like a warm hug. It takes patience and a little bit of grit to keep showing up when things feel slow. Remember that you are the CEO of your own career and your own peace. No one else is going to look out for your future self the way you can. So take those small steps and learn that new software and polish that resume. It all counts toward the bigger picture of the freedom you are creating. I am so proud of you for even clicking on this video and thinking about your growth. It shows that you care about your journey and your well-being. Let us keep growing together in a way that feels natural and sustainable. There is so much noise out there telling you to hustle until you drop, but I want you to prosper while you rest. You can have both a great career and a calm mind. It starts with believing that your value is not fixed at your current pay rate. You are worth so much more than a number on a spreadsheet. Keep investing in yourself because you are your greatest asset. I am always here to walk through these chapters with you. We are making moves not just for the money, but for the life the money allows us to live. A life of tea on a rainy Tuesday and not worrying about the bill. A life where you can help the people you love without a second thought. That is the real goal here. Let us stay focused and keep our hearts light as we climb. You have got this, and I am rooting for you every single day. Take a deep breath and know that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Your hard work is being seen even when you feel invisible. Just keep planting those seeds. The harvest is coming, and it will be more beautiful than you imagined. Until next time, take care of your money and take care of your soul. We will talk again very soon. It is all going to be okay. Actually, it is going to be great. Just keep going. One foot in front of the other, one skill at a time, one day at a time. You are doing amazing. Really, you are. Thank you for spending this time with me today. It means the world to have you in this community. Stay safe and stay inspired. See you soon. Goodbye for now. Stay gentle with yourself. Your path is unique and beautiful. Don't compare your Chapter 1 to someone else. Chapter 20, your time is coming. Keep that fire inside you burning bright but softly. You are a light in this world. Never forget that. Money is just a tool to help that light shine further. Use it well and use it wisely. Be kind to yourself as you learn. It is okay to make mistakes. It is okay to feel lost sometimes. Just find your way back to your center and remember that I am right here with you. Always peace and love to you all. Keep chasing that peace. The rest will follow. Believe in your potential, trust the process, embrace the journey. Every single part of it, even the rejections, they are just redirections, leading you to where you are meant to be. Be brave, be bold, be you. You are enough just as you are. Right now, before the promotion, before the raise, you are already enough. Never let a salary define your worth as a human being. You are priceless. Remember that. Always take care. Talk soon. Sending you so much positive energy. Go out there and shine in your own way at your own pace. The world is waiting for you, and I am here cheering you on. Every step of the way, you are not alone. We are in this together. The gentle way, the honest way, the DDO2 way. Stay grounded, stay humble, stay kind, and most of all, stay you. The world needs more of that. Okay. I am really going. Now see ya. Bye. Much love. Truly take a moment for yourself today. You deserve it. Relax, breathe, smile. It is a good day to be alive and a good day to start growing whenever you are ready. No rush. Just progress. Tiny wins are still wins. Celebrate them all. You are building something wonderful. Brick by brick, thought by thought, dollar by dollar. It is happening. Just watch. I will see you in the next video. Can T wait to catch up again? Have a beautiful day or night wherever you are. You are loved, you are valued, you are capable. Never doubt that. Not for a second. Okay, seriously, bye now. Love you guys. Peace.